Hello students, myself Raminder Kaur and this is chapter number 2 biological classification, and today we will going to study the topic viruses, viroids, prions and lichens. This is the last topic of this chapter. Here Whitaker, as he has proposed his 5 kingdom classification in 1669, developed into 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. But we have not studied any such structures, viruses, viroids under any of the kingdom. We all know viruses, they cause diseases in human body such as COVID-19, a biggest in a world through which we are suffering these pandemic days. All are isolated, under quarantine. So this has created a lot of problems, either economically, socially. Here it has been studied that viruses, they cause ill effects of common cold. It is rhinovirus or flu, that can be influenza flu, influenza virus. They did not find any place in classification. They are not considered truly living. So here it is apart. We are saying that viruses, this COVID-19, it can be found on any surface. So do not touch any doorknob or any other surface, and if you touch while you are going outside, you must wash your hands with any sanitizer, alcohol based or a soap, with 20 seconds, so that those chemicals could be able to kill that virus. It means when they are living outside any body, they are called as non-living. But when they find any host body, that when they start becoming to be living entity. So they are also known as non-cellular organism because of their inert crystalline structure. So kindly note down, inert means which cannot react outside the living body. So it requires host for fusion. So this is the tobacco mosaic virus in the A figure, and B is the bacteriophage. So bacteriophage are those viruses which can infect bacteria. So if you see the structure, it has a very particular structure. On the topmost part, head, then a collar or a neck, then is called a sheath, and so many tail fibers. Why so many tail fibers are present? So that it can easily infect the bacterial cells. So let's study. Once they infect the cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell. Means there will be no control of human system whenever any virus comes inside. Why we say that symptoms, they may appear within 14 days or maybe sometimes afterwards, because our body has special machinery that is called as immune system. So whenever these kind of viruses or any other pathogenic organisms, they are entering inside our body recognize them as foreign material and they start fighting against them. So that's why may or may not symptoms or asymptomatic conditions could appear in those situations. But when the immune system gets weakened, then the symptoms start appearing. So this virus COVID-19 is causing a problem in respiratory system, difficulty in breathing, coughing, fever, etc. So there are debatable questions with us whether viruses are living or non-living. If they are living, that's why they can reproduce. So non-living things, viruses can only show characteristics of a living thing inside a host cell, but outside any living organism, they behave as non-living. That's why it is advised not to touch your hand, not to touch your eyes or mouth again and again, because if you are touching any surface, those infection of viruses can enter inside your body. So viruses are infectious particles which are made only of strand of DNA or RNA surrounded by a protein coat. In our body cells, we have the genetic material called as DNA, which is responsible for passing our characters from one generation to the another. Same with the viruses, but here the change could be sometimes with the viruses which are infectious, they do not contain DNA, but instead of DNA they contain RNA. DNA full form is deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA full form is ribonucleic acid. Viruses are small, or we can say very small. Even if it is infecting a hundreds or the lakhs of population, we can't weight it because it's a so small, minute it is in nature, can't be seen under a simple compound microscope. We need a special electronic microscope. That's why all the scientists, they are considering them as a complex chemical, and as COVID-19 is a novel virus. Novel means new virus. That's why vaccination is not prepared yet. Still the research is going on. And so the name virus, it means venom, poisonous fluid. So it is a toxin, and the name is given by Dmitry Ivanovsky. 1892 recognize certain microbes as casual organism of the tobacco mosaic virus, this kind of green picture that is infecting tobacco plants. So it contain a genetic material, red color structure known as RNA, and capsid. These are the structures which are made up of proteins. So they are found that they are very small than bacteria, and even they can pass through bacteria proof filters, so nobody can trap them before entering any living body. Then M.W. Bejernik in 1898, he demonstrated this kind of infection that is found in tobacco plant, and he called the fluid as Contagium vivum fluidum. Here you can see here binomial nomenclature has three names. Contagium is a genus name, vivum species name, and fluidum is a subspecies name. Then W.M. Stanley in 1935 showed that viruses could be crystallized, and the crystals, they contain a lot many proteins in them, but they are inert, means non-reactive outside the host body, and they are obligate parasites. Obligate means they are completely dependent on the body of the host. As we have already studied this, they not only contain proteins, but the genetic material is also present. It could be RNA or DNA. No virus could contain both of them, either they will contain any one. So virus is a nucleoprotein. It means one nucleic acid covered by a protein layer. Nucleic acid can be RNA or DNA, and each and every time, because viruses, they are not useful to us, they are never acting as human welfare, they are always infectious, pathogenic in nature, so their genetic material is actually infectious. The question may come, why genetic material is only infectious, why not the protein layer? Because the genetic material has the capacity to enter from one cell to another, protein layer can never enter. Genetic material has a capacity to divide, to replicate and multiply, and it can increase the rate of infection. Those viruses which infect plants, they have single-stranded RNA, and those which infect in animals, they could have both, either single or double-stranded RNA or double-stranded RNA. In human body, we have double-stranded DNA. Then we have already talked about bacteriophages. So again, one more picture is given here. These are the viruses which can infect bacteria, and they have double-stranded DNA. Protein coat is called as capsid. It is made up of small units called as capsomeres, which protect the nucleic acid that can be DNA. These are arranged either helically or polyhedral geometric form. So you can see the arrangement of the capsid in tobacco mosaic virus. So many different kind of diseases are there: mumps, smallpox, herpes, influenza, common cold, COVID-19, that is a coronavirus which is causing it. AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This is also caused by a virus. The symptoms could be mosaic formation, leaf rolling. Sometimes the leaves can curl, roll due to the virus entry inside them. They may turn yellow in color. Vein clearing could be there. They can be showing stunted growth than the normal. So here I have given just a basic introduction about this, because as we are studying viruses, it is not included in syllabus, but it should be. So it is a novel, means new coronavirus with an outbreak of unusual viral pneumonia. So all the symptoms, they look like pneumonia. In the pneumonia case, we have lungs in our body. So alveoli are sac-like structure in which fluid get filled due to the infection. So in this also, it has started in Wuhan, China, and then it becomes pandemic due to its phylogenetic relationship and genomic structure. Genomic structure means due to its nucleic acid structure, it belongs to genera beta coronavirus. There are so many other categories which have been already found in our country, but also have differences in their genomic and phenotypic structure. It being single-stranded RNA associated with the nucleoprotein that is acting as a capsid which is protecting the nucleic acid. So this is very important structure. You can see the outer envelope protein, then the membrane protein, spike proteins, the things which are coming out. These are the proteins. These are the layers which are protecting the inside RNA. Then there is a lipid membrane. So as we all know, plasma membrane is made up of lipids and proteins. So here also capsid is made up of both lipid and proteins. Next come to viroids. So these are like viruses but much smaller than viruses also. So T.O. Diener in 1971, he discovered it, and it caused potato spindle tuber disease. It was found to be a free RNA. So means here is no protein coat in viroids. That's why this is not being put under viruses. It lacked protein coat, hence the name viroid, and RNA is acting as a genetic material in viroids. So this is the structure. You can see here glycoprotein as a cellular proteins present outside. Then there is a core, RNA is present. These glycoproteins which are present outside, they are not making a continuous layer like we have seen a capsid layer which is being found in mostly viruses. Now come to the third category, that are prions. So these are also infectious agents that can be transmitted from one individual to the another. They can be of similar size like viruses. So these are called as prions. They are causing so many diseases as either in humans or in animals. So let's study in brief the first disease, bovine spongiform encephalopathy, also called as BSE, cause a mad cow disease in cattle, and one more that is causing a disease in humans called as CR, Jacob disease, or CJD. So mad cow disease, it is a neurological disorder. Neurological means which is related with the brain of the cattle. It is caused by a prion which first infects CNS of a cow, and it will lead to the death of the nerve cells. We all know the neurons which are present inside the brain. Similarly in the cattle also they are found. So those neurons will get died, and ultimately there will be no signal transformation. Prions, they can also pass to humans through consumption. Consumption means if the meat will be taken up. Those who will eat the meat of the cattle who are already suffering from these kind of prions, it can enter into human body also. So those who eat contaminated food, prions, they will primarily enter in the brain and then into a spinal cord. So after person ingest, they spread to the brain of the human being and they remain dormant. Dormant means at such a higher level for so many years. After it, it will attack the nervous system and tiny holes which will look like sponges. That's why the name has been given, and host goes into seizure, death may occur. So certain brain attack can occur. How we can prevent? We should not eat the meat of or beef of such kind of animals. So let's study now what is CR Jacob disease. So it is also caused by a prion, and here it is transmitted from the equipments which are used for surgical operations. So even it is not get killed during sterilization. Mostly when we are visiting any hospital, you can see the cleanliness and the doctor's surgical operation rooms where these kind of equipments are being sterilized. They are washed with certain kind of alcohol so that all the kind of equipments or the apparatus must be get rid of the different kind of microorganism that can lead to diseases. But when these kind of prions they enter, they can lead to reduction in the thinking ability of human and ultimately memory loss. It will lead to death. That's why they are fatal. Human brain will start getting shrinked, and These prions build up in the cells, brain slowly shrinks, and tissue fills with holes until it resembles a sponge. Of both prions, in case of mad cow disease and C.R. Jacob disease, they are similar. Then now come to the next topic, lichens. In lower classes also you must have studied when both algae and fungus, they come together and mutually help each other. Algae, we all know, it is green in color, having a chlorophyll pigment, and it can make its own food, and it is placed under kingdom Plantae. And fungus, as we have studied kingdom Fungi, it is heterotrophic in nature. It cannot prepare its own food. So both of them live in symbiotic relationship, helping each other and equally. So algal component, because it can make its own food, it provides food to the fungus, and fungus provides shelter, and it also absorbs various kinds of mineral, nutrients and water for the algal partner. These two kind of partners, they are given with specific name. Algae is called as phycobiont and fungi is called as mycobiont. They are in so close relationship that we can never imagine that these are two different organisms. In the picture, it is being shown that they can be grown on any wood bark of the tree. Or you go to hilly regions or towards the Himalaya, those sides, they have very less pollution, so lichens grow there. Lichens are also known as good pollution indicators because they do not grow in such kind of conditions. So I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Thanks a lot.